In 1833, decades before the first movie was ever made, Leif Iago published the Plentiscope, Greek for cheat the eye, in which multiple photos of an inanimate object were flipped through so fast that it created the fluent illusion of the item moving. Puppets, models, cutouts, and clay figures built around an armature have been used since the silent film era all the way down to the 21st century in the film technique of stop motion. The most famous stop motion director of this generation, the mastermind behind Nightmare Before Christmas, is the one and only Tim Burton. Hi guys, my name is Brandon Estelle, and based on my research through articles, the video of Tim Burton's, and interviews of his friends and family, I would like to discuss who is Tim Burton. First, I will describe his upbringing and how it steered him in the direction of being found. Then I will examine his runtime with Disney and the movies he made with them. Finally, I will discuss his venturing on his own and the art he created, keeping the tradition of stop motion alive. Tim Burton was born August 25th, 1958, to the mother Ricky and father Bill. Every day after school, the family would have movie nights together. In 1963, when Tim was 5 years old, he was terrified yet oddly fascinated by Bozo the Clown. He watched it from down the hallway through a crack of the bathroom door, just to feel safer. At age 10, Tim would spend all of his weekly allowances on monster magazines and Fright Fest at the local cinema. He absolutely adored every horror movie that had the actor Vincent Price. So much so that Tim's father would bring home drafting sheets for the kids to draw their own monsters to be part of the movies. Vincent Price films is where Tim Burton found his love for German Expressionism and learned how to create his own style of it for many monster movies he made in later years. Starting high school in 1972, 14-year-old Tim Burton's favorite class was the Counterculture Graphic Arts. In the school's art competition, Tim won first place. His art was featured all over the city. This was his first publicity as an artist. Even with this being true, Tim was known for his concealed emotions and introverted behavior, that he was outcasted by most people in his school. Problems at home led to him moving out at age 17 to live with his grandmother. In this new house, he had freedom to go out more and bring more people over. Every week, 6 of his friends would come over and make backyard short films. This gave him practice for character development, costume making, acting, and directing. He continued doing these movies every single weekend up until 1982. Sorry about that. Tim Burton earned a scholarship for Cal Arts in 1976, where he enrolled in the Disney-sponsored animation program. The fellow student in his class was none other than John Lasseter, the director of Toy Story. The traditional animation formulas taught in school left the unorthodox artist Tim Burton frustrated. His love of German Expressionism and stop motion was yet again unappreciated. By 1978, he had lost his scholarship and was barely scraping by on student loans. All these struggles were worth it when his 2 class project films of Vincent and Evil Dentist piqued interest of Disney recruits. By 1979, Tim Burton got a job at Disney for the films Fox and the Hound and Black Cauldron. But by 1984, most of his work was rejected for being too dang weird, said by fellow coworkers. With 5 whole years down the drain and an entire life of his art being unappreciated and made fun of, Tim Burton became extremely depressed. Sleeping 14 hours a day, rarely getting out of bed, and at work, if someone tried to talk to him, he would hide under his desk. His actions got weirder and weirder as the year progressed. For example, when he got his 4 wisdom teeth pulled out, instead of using gauze, he just let his blood drip onto the sketch pad and used it as part of his story design sketches. Kinda gross. Tom Wilhide was the only Disney director who even considered working with Tim Burton, which they ended up working together for a 6-minute short film, Vincent, in which was about a misunderstood boy who wanted to be like Vincent Price. And the real Vincent Price did the narration of the film, allowing Tim to meet his childhood hero and have him read the poem that Tim wrote as a kid. It was a dream come true. But although Disney had commissioned it, they had no idea what to do with it. After a few screenings at film festivals, Vincent was locked away in studio vaults, just like many other drawings and works Tim had done over the years. Still, he was determined to direct movies, and even was able to get a long-running show, Frankenweenie, to stay on air. Disney sadly put a PG rating on the show, saying it was too disturbing for young children. After that, no one watched it, and yet again, his work was thrown into the studio vault, never to be seen by the light of day again. At this point, Tim Burton had enough, and ventured out on his own to be a director uncensored. Tim had decided that from now on, he would only choose scripts that he cared about, even if that meant months with no work. In 1985, Burton got the opportunity that he was looking for. Of all people, the disturbing Paul Rubin gave him a call to be the director of Pee-wee Herman's Big Adventure. Business was great in the box office for Tim Burton ever since that surprise hit film. Now he was being swamped with scripts of possible movies. Tim felt like he was being a director for hire, rather than being able to express himself and show his vision in the collaborations with the film. After 2 full years, did he finally accept a script that would fit what he was looking for, a comedy about the afterlife. No one wanted to film or star in it. Beetlejuice was turned down by so many people, but Tim Burton saw just how great it can turn out. By the end of the filming process, the writer of the script was shocked at how better it came out with the help of Tim. On April Fool's Day of 1988, the film Beetlejuice was released, and within the first 5 days, over $100 million earned. It was a complete hit, and that made Tim Burton realize he was now the industry's newest bona fide hot property, said by himself. Later that year, Warner Brothers' Batman was the first movie in history to have taken over $100 million in only 10 days of its release, all because of Tim Burton's twist of the old school story of Batman and the Joker. A few years later, Tim also directed Batman Returns, which was just as well loved. In 1990, Burton signed on with the 20th Century Fox to continue his own written film of Edward Scissorhands, which linked his childhood feelings of loneliness as a weirdo in the postcard-perfect suburban life. Johnny Depp, Vincent Price, and Winona Ryder yet again come together to act in Tim Burton's films, and for many years the four of them were constantly working together in films after Edward Scissorhands came out. Now at the age of 34, in 1993, Tim Burton decided to bring up a story that he proposed to Disney 10 years ago, but as Disney always did, it was turned down. This time, in taking the role of producer, Tim Burton worked with the director Henry Selick to create his most memorable work, The Nightmare Before Christmas, which was seen as a child's film made too terrifying for kids. This film, entirely made of stop motion, took 2 years of daily hard work, but it paid off, because now it is the staple of all Halloween movies and all Christmas movies. Tim Burton decided to take a few years off to relax after a decade of non-stop work. Self-imposed exile was exactly what he wanted. Kind of what everyone's doing right now with the COVID. In 1994 until today, he had been absorbed with projects in absolute bliss, being up to his waist with art projects. He created Mars Attacks, Vampira, Melancholy Book, Sleepy Hollow, Planet of the Apes, Corpse Bride, Alice in Wonderland, Sweeney Todd, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Big Fish, Dark Shadows, Miss Pedigrees, Ed Wood, Boss Trolls 9, and most recently, Big Eyes, which came out in 2018, and Dumbo in 2019. Kind of crazy at how much he was able to produce. Now that you know of who Tim Burton is, from his 1958 birth, his outcasted life as a child, his unappreciated runtime with Disney, and lastly his many, many well-loved movies he was able to produce once he set himself free to be himself. I would like to leave you all with a quote by Tim Burton. And it goes, "One person's craziness is another person's reality. Maybe it's just in America, but it seems that if you're passionate about something, it freaks people out. If you are considered bizarre or eccentric, to me, it just means you know who you are." Thank you for watching.